Did You Have To is a proud member of the But Why Though podcast community.
Welcome back to Did You Have To, the podcast where two bad bitches talk about anime. And here are your hosts, Kate and Neysha. Yeah! Neysha's quirk, stress ball. By internalizing her stress about the world being in chaos and crime, she converts that stress into a superpower, becoming a badass. Kate's quirk, waifu warrior. By just watching her favorite shows, she can manifest real or fictional characters into the real thing. They come to life and fight by her side. Not every character does it, though. She has to find the individual really hot. Yeah!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Did You Have To? And today we have an amazing opportunity where we get to speak with Yedoye Travis, the new host of Anime in America, a Crunchyroll podcast.
Hey, how's it going? Hello, how are you doing?
Good. Very excited. We should probably introduce ourselves, the hosts of this thing. I'm Kate.
And I'm Neysha.
And I just really want to jump right into it because, I've been following your work, Yedoye, especially on Get on the Robot, your comedy, everything like that. So it's nice to see a weeb like you doing amazing things.
Oh, thank you. You know, we do everything. I feel like there are nerds in every field now. You know, we're all over the place.
We love to see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Spreading out our weird little tentacles. I shouldn't say tentacles. Knowing what I know, I feel like I should avoid that.
It's fine. You're safe here on this show. Making that joke.
Okay, great. Save it for the other shows.
Technically that's maybe the only one piece of anime smut we haven't talked about on this show, so.
Oh, really?
We're going to get into it one day. We haven't had our hentai episode yet, but we said, we will do it one day.
One day, you really got to really dive into the history of it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
We'll start out asking the actual on-topic, questions that aren't technicals.
It's not necessarily off-topic.
This is fair. Very fair.
True. In the vein of anime. But yeah, so thanks again for coming on our show. So one of the first questions we wanted to ask you was, what's your anime origin story? Like, what was the first anime and how old were you when you got involved? Or how did you get involved? Like, give us your origin story of anime, Yedoye.
Okay, I feel like I'm super well rehearsed on this because we've done it so many times on Robot. But my first anime was Speed Racer, and that was just like when I was a super little kid. So I can't even really count it because I didn't know it was anime, which is kind of the point of old anime is that you didn't know it was from Japan because of World War II and stuff. Right. But like the first show I watched that I was really aware that it was anime was obviously Dragon Ball Z. It was Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, just the whole Toonami generation of shows. Mm-hmm. But I started watching them when they were on UPN, which I don't know if y'all even had that outside of Atlanta, the Southeast.
Yep,
okay.
Well, we did.
Okay.
Chicago. Yes, we had that.
Okay. I never know. Some people look at me like I'm crazy when I say it came on right after Moesha, but like.
Right. It did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. UPN and Telemundo is where I watch Dragon Ball Z. Some days I was like, you know what? I don't even need to know what happens. I know this is just, that's pretty much it. Dragon Ball Z. And then I started to get into like a little deeper stuff once like Adult Swim happened. I actually remember where I was the first day Adult Swim came out. I was at my cousin's house in Fayetteville and she had to leave the room because her dad would not let her watch it because it was called Adult Swim. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just me and my brother watching Cowboy Bebop by ourselves in somebody else's house.
That's really cool.
That is.
Yeah. And goes deep.
So I have to ask, like, just as a follow-up question to that, like, what was your favorite of the Adult Swim lineup?
Ooh, that's honestly a tough question because I like the lines for me start to blur from what was Adult Swim and what was Toonami. But I think like back then it was probably Outlaw Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was top. like Gene Starwin, all of them.
Yeah.
And more recently, obviously, Cowboy Bebop is like the classic everybody goes to. But
Right.
I just started to revisit Outlaw Star a few months ago, and it holds up. It's a little hornier than I remember, but it holds up.
Just went right over your head, but
yeah,
no, I get it.
As a kid, I was like, oh yeah, why is he always talking about titties?
It's not anime. It's not anime if there's no titty talk, though.
That's true. That's true. You know, you should enter the Avatar debate. We get a much clearer answer. Not one discussion of titties. It's not anime at all.
It does have a beach episode, though.
Have a beach episode. The end of the first season is just what is it? Mononoke.
Mm-hmm. That's not wrong. Dear Lord, that's not wrong.
Facts. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
The next question is really so when we got the press release for Anime in America, I was super pumped because like the way we experience anime here is obviously culturally different than other places, but it's also something that is like, I guess from I grew up from getting the shirt at Hot Topic that said otaku on it to suddenly being called weebs to not really knowing what's happening to seeing it everywhere. And so it's awesome to see it explode and actually get a show that's going in depth is really exciting. And I wanted to know, like, how did you get, what drew you to the project? And is this something you've always thought of or just kind of came up?
I mean, honestly, the work I do in the anime space entirely was just kind of like, from like before getting Robot, it was literally one guy saw me do a joke about Dragon Ball Z and was like, "You should do this anime channel with us." and then that same guy eventually quit his job at Frederator to take a job at Crunchyroll, and so the same guy hired me at both places. And I think it was maybe a year into Robot, he just hit me up again and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this other project?" And I trust him because, you know, he set me on this path. So I was like, yeah, obviously. And it's something that's interested me my whole life. So I was just like, yeah, I'm 100% on board.
That's awesome.
No.
Yeah.
Kind of like a follow-up to that one is, are there any topics you are especially excited about discussing on the new podcast that you can tell us about? I understand if you can't tell us everything, but what you feel comfortable telling us about.
I mean, I've already touched on it, so I might as well say there is a hentai episode.
Yes.
Yeah. So, so we actually dive in pretty deep into that, and it's like very minimally horny. It's the least horny discussion of hentai that you will find on the internet, I would say. It's very, very historical, analytical, and obviously it's a podcast, so it's like, it's not a crime, I guess. Is the best thing. There's nothing criminal going on in this episode.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's awesome. Was there anything, if you give like a little teaser of anything in the history that like kind of surprised you when you were diving into it?
I guess there's a little bit of the American side of it that I wasn't really aware of, and obviously you like know in your mind or like a little bit abstractly, like certain, like obviously didn't hear the rights to Miyazaki films, but you don't really know what that entails. And I was not aware of the role that Harvey Weinstein had in bringing anime over to the U.S. and the response that Miyazaki had to him, which was, I mean, I don't know if I can say this on the show, but I will just say it, and we'll cut it later. But basically, Harvey Weinstein was trying to, because everybody's like idea of anime was that it wasn't suitable for American audiences, and it's not like violence or sexual content or anything like that, just that they wouldn't understand it. And so Harvey Weinstein's here like trying to cut up Mononoke, which is by all accounts a perfect film, just to suit what he thinks are American needs, to the point that finally Toshio Suzuki gave him a sword, a katana, in a meeting and shouted "no cuts" at him in front of a group of producers.
That is so hardcore.
Love
Yeah.
that.
My favorite story ever. My favorite story from the whole podcast, and also just like so fitting for the time that we're in.
Oh yeah,
very.
Just a big fuck you to Weinstein, wherever he may be.
I love it.
I want to aim for that energy the rest of my life now.
Yeah, right? I saw your face as the thing that was going to be a way worse story than it was.
Oh. I was waiting, because when you say Weinstein, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Just brace myself.
It's like, do they not know that I know?
That's good. So on to the next question. As we see that anime's influence has grown to new heights in areas like streetwear, music, and mainstream culture overall, what would you say to people that think anime is still only for a select group of people, i.e. gatekeepers?
I mean, to them, I feel like I don't even have to like rationalize just saying "fuck you."
Yeah.
You didn't make it. So why do you feel so much ownership over like that? I feel like that's a problem that goes so deep in this country, even beyond anime itself. That
Agreed.
people who don't actually produce anything feel ownership over something that is supposedly for everyone. And I mean, the fact that like, obviously per capita, or not per capita, but like just pure numbers, obviously there are more white anime fans, obviously. But there are people who think that just because they were alive in the 80s and the 70s when it started to come over here, that makes them somehow the authority on it, when in reality, the people who go hardest for it are Black girls and rappers and all these people that you would never associate with in your real life. Like, that goes to show you it's really not for you and two about you. And in fact, the creators are not even thinking about you when they make this shit.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about us when they make this shit. So like, how about you just shut the fuck up and let people enjoy the shit instead of getting mad when they mispronounce one thing, which people do in the dubs anyway.
Yes.
Like what is wrong with you?
The manga or the manga debate.
Oh my
Hunter x Hunter, Hunter by Hunter.
Yeah, right? Hunter times Hunter.
Yeah. Jesus.
Like, who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?
No, that's just perfectly said.
It's fun. Right? Yeah. Like, the world is falling apart. Let people have what they like.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think I could have said any of that better myself. And that is a message we co-sign here on Did You Have To? 100%.
Hey.
It's pretty much how this show came to be. Us just being like, we want to talk about anime together, and she a brown woman, I'm a Black woman. Here we are.
Yep, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the people who are not those people.
Yeah.
Love it. So one of my last questions are, what are your thoughts on the Western produced / influenced anime that some people would say are not anime? So we kind of touched on it when you mentioned Avatar, and I swear I had thought about this. I guess to expound, there's stuff like Netflix's Castlevania that's produced by
Frederator.
Powerhouse, right? And Frederator. Yeah. So things like that. What are your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts on that is kind of, you really have to ask yourself, what's the value of being called anime? Because everything is inspired by anime at this point. Like, there are feature films that are live action that are inspired by anime. And so can we not just look at that inspiration and say, okay, I see where this came from. I see Inception basically just took Paprika and put it in,
right.
Can we not just look at that and say, okay, it's an anime inspired thing? Like, granted, I think the vitriol toward people who want to talk about Avatar in anime conversations is entirely unreasonable. I think it's insane. But I also feel like we as Americans, and I don't even like putting myself in the category of Americans, but like as non-Japanese people, what do we really gain from saying this is anime? This is like undebatably anime. Like, just make your thing. People like it or they don't. That's really all I have to say about that.
Dope.
Makes sense.
You know?
And
like, Avatar is great.
I had never thought about Paprika and Inception, but I had thought about Perfect Blue and Black Swan before.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously Avatar and Mononoke. It's literally the same monster at the end.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's it's inspired. It's the same thing, although they have copped to that. But like
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I guess like one of the final questions, we have two more, but what's on your anime watch list right now?
Ooh, okay. There's so much because it's now become a job when I didn't plan on it. I mean, I just finished BNA, and I am currently watching Japan Sinks. You're not gonna like my opinion on BNA.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just like I also do some work in like racial justice and things like that, and BNA did not sit right with me for that reason.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm watching that. I'm watching Japan Sinks, and probably gonna rewatch Devilman just because I like Yuasa.
You just want to make yourself hurt inside a little bit longer.
Yeah, right. I just want to see. I just really am in the mood to see a lot of track meets. That's kind of my main thing.
So we actually just recorded our Japan Sings episode, and I can't believe we did not comment on yet another use of track.
I was just like, this they must love track and field. They must.
Loves running so much.
Yep.
Right?
Oh,
it's like I'm not mad at it, but there's so much.
There's a lot of running. At least it's like good form running.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, in Devilman, do people run like that with the like perfectly parallel to the ground?
That's fair. But that's different.
They run normal before they die.
True. I mean, look, they are demons. They haven't been on Earth very long. I get it. But like, it's weird. It's weird.
It is.
Oh man.
No, that's a solid list though. That's funny because like we literally just did our BNA episode and we just did Japan Sinks is coming out soon too. And me and Kate were just like, okay, depression, our old friend.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. Don't spoil anything. But
no, we won't
you're
spoil
good.
anything.
No spoils.
No, but no, it's always funny because like I feel like is it Science Saru? Like they have like Devilman, Wreck Your Soul, Japan Sinks, Wreck Your Soul, whole bunch of Shin-chan in between.
Yep. I mean, it's a good palate cleanser. It's not bad.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I did just have to rewatch Fooly Cooly just to prep myself for all of it.
There you go.
That's fair. What is your most, do you have like a comfort food anime that you go to that you just rewatch?
I think it's Fooly Cooly.
Fooly Cooly?
It's mostly because it's not like just going back to Naruto and sitting through 700 episodes. Like, I just like I like those 6 episodes, very digestible, and it's like, it's abstract enough that I can not think about what it actually means and just kind of like watch the action, which is great. I feel like there's too much anime where I kind of get absorbed in what this actually means politically, and I go crazy. Yeah. Like I watched Full Metal Alchemist a couple months ago, and I'm just like, man, the Nazi shit is deep, and I can't. I can't look away.
I'm rewatching that. I'm rewatching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as I go through my first watch of all of One Piece. So like, I'll take a break from One Piece and then go to Full Metal, and then I just be like, this probably isn't a good idea for like taking a break, but Full Metal Alchemist is my my comfort food anime. Yeah, this is perfect from beginning to end. But I'll be like, ooh.
Yeah,
so much.
It's so good, but it's like What are you trying to say?
Yep. I don't
Right.
think it knows what it's trying to say in the beginning, at least.
No.
Don't know.
No. It's a very what does genocide mean kind of narrative.
Yeah.
I will say I do love your description of Fully Cooley though, just because the other day Neysha asked me why the hell I was watching Tokyo Ghoul for the 6th time because it's confusing. I was like, because I like the big fight scenes. It's just fun to watch the crazy fights. Yeah,
exactly. Like I'm actually about to write a piece on Fully Cooley for whenever Robot comes back. And just for as much like messaging as there is on like adulthood and masculinity, in my opinion, there's also like haha South Park reference.
Nice.
It's like it's that's funny.
So this wasn't on the sheet. If you're okay with that, what I asked, have you watched all of One Piece? Because the current bet right now is that Neysha can't finish One Piece by December, and now I'm hearing she's taking breaks, and I feel like I'm going to win this bet now.
No, see,
Listen.
I was a One Piece and Naruto stan on the ground floor. I read the anime when I was in middle school. Or I started reading the anime when I was, and then I took one break. I looked away, and now it's like, how many of what? And now I've gotten to 2020, and it's like 1,000 episodes. And what do you? Who do you think people are? What do you think everybody is doing? What? So now I'm just like, no, I haven't finished it. I'm never gonna finish it. I don't think.
I love that energy because that's mine.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Look, no, sorry, go ahead.
Like, as much as people think if you haven't seen it or whatever, you don't really fuck with anime. Like, no. I can't.
Literally nobody has time for that.
Nobody.
But me and Kate have a very competitive friendship. So, and she knows this when someone tells me I can't do something, then I have to prove them wrong. So I might be setting myself up for failure, but I'm really only doing this for Zoro.
Okay, look.
I'm doing this for Zoro. That's it.
I respect your drive, but conservatively,
yes.
That's 20,000 minutes of your life.
Done the math. Look, if I watch for 7 hours a day, we'll see what happens in December.
It's a whole job.
It is. It's a whole ass job.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What are you doing to yourself?
It's true.
I told her I'd buy her a Zorro statue. She did.
I respect your drive, but
I don't. Yeah, no. Like it's
what? Okay. I mean, look. That's honestly that's a safe bet. I feel like.
Yep. Oh yeah, very safe.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I might, I might surprise you. I'm gonna win now. Y'all gonna see. December 31st up to New Year's Eve, I will finish this damn anime.
I expect you to be a shell of your former self by the time this happens too.
I probably will. I'm just gonna be that anime trope of the soul leaving my mouth.
I just feel like if you finish something that long, that's gotta be your job now.
Yeah.
Like
it's true.
Like, what else can you do? What can you talk to people about? You know?
Look, we still gotta review whole series for this show, Neysha. Like, how are you gonna work that in?
Right?
I'll figure it out.
How?
I don't know.
I will be rooting for you, but I do not believe in you. I'm sorry.
If Shonen has taught me anything, through the power of self-confidence, I can do anything. Never mind. I'll take your support, but not. I understand you don't believe. It's fine.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Look, anything I can do to help. That's all I got.
So our final question after that beautiful One Piece question that I needed to ask just because, friendship.
She's a troll.
If if you could give advice to someone looking to begin a career in anime or manga, either as a content creator or looking to get into the industry in other ways, what would it really be?
Oh, I mean, that's a tough question only because I'm not an anime creator, so I don't produce anything. I do write for TV, and so my only real advice there is to say, if you have an idea, just write it. It doesn't, I mean, don't even worry about it being good. Just write and keep writing and keep drawing, creating whatever you want to create, because 9 times out of 10 in the industry, people aren't looking for something good. People just want something that exists, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you wonder, like, I mean, as terrible and annoying as this is, but like Lena Dunham sold a pitch to HBO with a 1-page pitch at 23 with no characters. In reality, like, as indicative of white privilege as that is, it is a fact that people are just looking for you to have something. And she had something, even though as a Black creator, you would have to have like 1,000 times more than that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, always have something. Be ready for whatever meeting comes up or whatever opportunities present themselves, because once you start to establish a presence, people are going to ask. And if you don't have anything, I mean, they might keep asking, they might not. But if you do, even if they don't buy it, they're going to keep asking you for the next thing. So like, all you have to do is prove that you can create, and somebody will pay you to do it.
That's awesome.
That's really good advice. And thank you. And seriously, like, I do want to say, just from like my perspective, because I have watched Robot for a while, and I like, as a brown woman, getting to watch you guys, you know, a diverse group, actually getting up and talking about anime as passionately and as hilarious and as awesome as y'all have, like, that has meant a lot to me. And it's a lot of the reason why me and Neysha like pulled the trigger on getting this show off the ground, and knowing that you're coming to do the new Crunchyroll podcast is even more exciting, because we're getting to see somebody who doesn't look like the stereotypical, you know, and like anime fan, you know, like getting to be out there and in front of this and making it a place where, you know, people like me and Neysha belong. So I do want to say thank you for all your work, because like, we see it. We see it.
It means a lot. It really does.
Oh man, thank you all so much. I'm so glad to know that even just 2 people have seen our work and decided, and it's motivated them to do something. Just because, you know, it's tough being the only ones. Not that we even were, but in any field, it's tough being the only ones, and it's good to see that, like, that it's pushing y'all forward, and hopefully y'all doing this will push more people forward, and eventually we will be the stereotypical anime fans, you know? Because like,
love it.
You got Megan Thee Stallion out here repping anime blacks, so it's like,
exactly.
Like, look at what's in front of you.
I may have bought $90 worth of that merch as soon as it dropped on Crunchyroll.
Oh my God!
I bought 144. I had no chill.
See, look, and I respect it. I respect.
I was like, if I was gonna spend anime dollars on anything, it's gonna be this Black woman and her brand.
See? Yes, and I respect that. I appreciate that.
So to sign off and everything, why don't you tell everybody listening where they can find you, where they can find the new podcast, and everything like that?
Okay, so you can find me. I'm on Twitter at Yedoye OT, Instagram at Professor Doye. The podcast drops tomorrow, I guess, and you can find that pretty much everywhere. I think the trailer's up on Spotify right now, and you can go over there and subscribe ASAP. And then I guess it's just wherever podcasts are, you know, wherever you can find them. I don't know all the details. They didn't train me on what to say here. Just Google it. Everything's on Google. Why do people even do this anymore? Just Google it.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us. And if you're listening and you don't want to Google it because you're lazy, I know y'all are. I'm going to link all of it in our show notes so you can just click right there, or at least type in a handle. Come on, guys, you can do it.
Did You Have To is co-produced by Kate Sanchez and LaNeysha Campbell. Our intro is done by Dr. Emery Stephen Daniel. And our outro and intro music is by Benjamin Tissot, aka Ben Sound.